So making your prospects' objections smaller has a lot to do with how you respond and just the reactions you have, the importance that you put on things that they say. This obviously has to do a lot with objection handling, but it's something that you can take with you or something you at least want to keep in mind throughout the entirety of the call. The reason why I want to point out objections is because this will help you close so much more deals. Think about it this way. You've built up a lot of trust. You're on a call with someone. You've gone through an entire conversation. They see you as the expert, the authority on the subject matter, the thing they need help with. Then they give you an objection or they just bring up a concern is what I like to say. And then you have this big blown out like reaction to their concern. What does that say to the prospect? What does that show them? It shows them that it is a big concern. They're going to put the same level of importance on that concern that you do because you're the expert. You're the person with the authority on the subject matter. So if the concern is a big concern, they are expecting you to have a big reaction. But on the flip side, if you don't have a big reaction, maybe they're going to start to second guess how big that concern really is. For example, if someone gives you like a timing objection and they're like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I have the time to get this done. And you immediately jump into this big spiel about, are you going to make time for things that are important? Are you going to, you're never going to feel like you have time. Like you go into all those kind of listed, scripted out objection handles for timing and, your tonality, your energy, your body language, everything is showcasing that, hey, this is a big deal. Like we need to overcome this, right? The level of importance they're going to put on that concern is going to either be, you're just going to validate the fact that, hey, this is a big concern that we need to overcome. Maybe I shouldn't buy now. Maybe I should wait. Maybe I should think about this because there's this giant roadblock. On the flip side, someone brings up a timing concern. They bring up any concern and, you're chill, you're laid back, you're very calm and almost nonchalant to the point where you're like, oh yeah, that's not a big deal. And you're having the conversation, helping them navigate it in a way that just portrays an energy that it's whatever, right? If you bring up something to someone that you think is a big deal and they're kind of like, oh yeah, like it's whatever to them, it's gonna make you do what? Start to second guess yourself and second guess like, am I overreacting? Is it not as big as a deal as I thought? And you being the authority should know whether it's a big deal or not for most of the concerns that they have, right? Outside of like just the logistical ones that they might bring up. And not just objection handling, it's important throughout the entirety of the call. Let me give another example. I see this time and time again with sales reps getting on offers that are like business coaching, right? So imagine you have an offer where you help businesses scale to $1 million a month in cash, right? And you're going through the sales call and that's your not promise, but like that's what you guys specialize in. You kind of all your marketing, your advertising is, hey, business owners that are stuck at between $100,000 and $200,000 a month, work with us, we'll help you scale to $1 million a month. Or hey, this is how we scaled our company to $1 million a month. Then they get on the sales call with the sales rep and the sales rep's asking them, hey, what are your goals? What are your targets for this year or whatever? And the business owner very casually is saying, hey, right now we're, about $150,000 per month in cash flow. We're looking in the next 3 months or so to scale to about $500K a month. And then, maybe put some plans in place to get to $1 million. Now, the way you respond tells a lot about you. If someone says, hey, my goal is to get to $500K a month, and I have this huge reaction to it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, that's a big goal. That's awesome. That's amazing. $500K a month. Yeah. What does that say about me? What does that say about the program, the service that we have? More so, what does it say about what I've seen? People only have big, wow, drawn out reactions to things that are a big deal or rare, right? So if I'm like, wow, $500K a month, that shows that number, businesses doing that amount is rare to me because, for some people, that's a lot. For other people, it's not. So if I'm the type of person who's having this big drawn out reaction, then $500K to me would be rare in that person's eyes. They'll be like, okay, is that not normal? Is that not what you currently see? But again, I'm selling something where what we do, the promise, the service is helping businesses scale to $1 million a month. So if I had a good service, if we were good at backing up our claims and helping people get there, wouldn't $500K a month be something that I've seen over and over and over and over and over again? If so, why do I have this big reaction? For example, right now, I don't know if you can see, but there's tons of snow outside. If someone has come to Canada, where I'm at, and has never seen snow before, it's natural that they might get off the plane and say, wow, it's snowing outside. Oh my gosh, look at the white snow, because they've never seen it. It's a rarity to them, right? On the flip side, for me, if it snows, it's just another day. I mean, it's Canada, it's gonna snow, right? So it is what it is. I'm not gonna have this big reaction to seeing snow. So if you're selling something where, you help businesses scale to $1 million a month, and someone says, hey, I'm at 200K, 150, I wanna get to 500, you have this big drawn out reaction, they're gonna assume that you haven't seen many businesses over 500K or at $1 million a month, which is going to make them not trust you as more and kind of be like a little iffy on what's going on here, right? You're gonna see their trust start to fade away. Same thing, that's just another reaction that you have on the call you wanna be mindful of. I see it over and over again. And some people, they do that reaction because they wanna reinforce the prospect and make them feel good about their goals, when in turn, it actually has the opposite effect, right? It makes them lose trust in you, because they're like, why are you so excited? Or why is this such a big, this should be nothing to you, right? In terms of what you've seen in your program based on what you guys claim to help people do, right? Because, they'll almost trust you more if they say, yeah, my goal is to get to 500K a month. And you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, it sounds doable, right? Like if you have that nonchalant, like, yeah, I've seen this before. Yeah, no problem. We'll talk about it, see what the steps are to get there, see if we're a good fit for that. Then it's normal, the trust will go up. Same thing when you're handling objections. Someone's like, hey, I've got all this fear. I don't know if I should move forward, I'm uncertain. And you're like jumping in with this big objection handle right away. And you're like, oh my gosh, well, we got to take care of that. Like, what do you think of, what if this, what if that, right? Versus just calm, collected. Yeah, no problem. I mean, fear's totally normal. I get it. At the end of the day, the uncertainty you feel, the fear you feel, the anxiety you feel, it just means it's something you care about getting results with, right? Like, no matter what you say, the energy you portray is like, yeah, I've seen this before. That's okay. Totally get it, right? At the end of the day, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable and confident with moving forward. They're going to put less importance on their fear, their concern, whatever it is. They say, hey, I don't have the money. I can't afford it. Okay. No problem. At the end of the day, you do whatever objection handle it is, whether you paste the objection and money aside, whatever it is you want to say, but you're doing it in a way where you're like, oh, you don't have the money? No problem. Hey, maybe we go through the finances, see if we can put together a plan that would work now or sometime in the future. How's that sound? Versus, oh my gosh, you don't have the money. Right? It's like the reactions you give make a huge difference. Keep that in mind when you're in your sales calls. Keep that in mind when you're going through goals. Keep that in mind when you're hearing their problems. Keep that in mind when you're pitching. Keep that in mind throughout the entirety of the call. That doesn't mean every reaction is nonchalant. You want to have a reaction appropriate to what's being said, what's being heard, what's going on. Same thing, like if someone's talking about getting scammed by a company, like, hey, I worked with this company in the past. They scammed me, didn't work out, whatever. If you're like, oh, okay, and keep it pushing, it's like, why is getting scammed so normal for you, right? Like, for me, if someone's like, oh man, this company scammed me, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, sorry to hear that. Like, really? They did that? They did what? Right? Like, what does that say about me, about my character, about my personality, right? All of a sudden, they find themselves feeling and thinking, oh, this guy would never do the same. Okay, this is something that seems, crazy to him. Like, he would never scam me. He would never, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, more trust is built right there based off of how I react to hearing that, right? So you want to just pay attention to how you react to things, be intentional about it, and just be normal about it in context, right? Like, this is not, I don't want to give you guys something else to just bog down your mind when you're on calls. It should be natural, flow natural. But at the same time, you want to also make sure that you're not having these like abnormal reactions for what it is you're selling. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. See you guys in the next video.